What's going on with the point spread in the Ohio State-Michigan game? Why are the Buckeyes not favored by more? And how Crazy Pants might just have the formula to pull the upset? And finally, why this is the first cheese alert of the college football season. Let's get it.
This is Enough Said Sports.
Guys, I hope all is well in your world. It is all well here at Enough Said Sports as we come to you with a little bit of an impromptu video talking about college football here, the matchup between the Ohio State Buckeyes and the Michigan Wolverines. Want to just mention to you briefly, guys, if you like this sort of content, please consider joining us on Patreon. Click the description box below. There's a first link there. Become a true fan of Enough Said Sports. Click that link and check us out. And then also check out the details on how to enter the Patreon giveaway and win a jersey of your favorite NFL, NBA, or college football team, any era, past or present. Click the link here right above my head here. Check out that video if you're interested in that. After you get done watching this, you could always check that out. Really appreciate all the support over there. Definitely need that as much as possible, and definitely give yourself an opportunity to win a jersey. Now, let's talk about this particular scenario here between the Ohio State Buckeyes and the Michigan Wolverines. I didn't necessarily plan on doing a video here on YouTube about this. I was going to do an exclusive video over on Patreon, but I thought better of it and thought that I wanted to share this with you, everybody, with you guys here on YouTube as well. Now, with all that being said, the point spread in this game is a bit curious, okay? Ohio State is favored by 7.5. They've been favored by 7.5 this entire time. Absolute zero line movement, but we'll get into that here in just a minute, and I'll talk about the cheese alert and all that good stuff. But just first, let's talk about the matchup itself. Ohio State has looked amazing. And I do this with great trepidation because I have great respect for the Ohio State Buckeyes and what they've been able to accomplish. I have been wrong on the Ohio State Buckeyes several times this season, and they have come out and definitely made me eat it. And they deserve a ton of respect, a ton of credit. C.J. Stroud, Ryan Day, they've gotten the job done. They looked really, really good against Michigan State. I actually had Michigan State beating Ohio State. Unfortunately, I was extremely wrong on that one, and we'll get into that here in just a minute. But with all that being said, Ohio State deserves all the credit in the world. They're a tremendous football team, and they very well this might be their year. I think they match up quite well with somebody like Georgia, just because of what they can do throwing the football down the field. And I believe that is the one kryptonite to Georgia's Superman, which is, throwing the ball on them. If you can have time to throw the ball, you can really take advantage of Georgia, but that's the big thing, if you have time. So flipping it over to the other side, the Michigan Wolverines. Here's the deal. Here's why, and this is aside from the cheese alert, which I'll get into in a minute. Here's the reason why I really liked Michigan's chances, and really why I liked Michigan State's chances going into last week. The one thing that the Ohio State Buckeyes have struggled against mightily is a running football team. When you look at the games, the one game they lost against Oregon ran the ball down their throat. More correctly put, they ran it around the outside a lot. Okay, they attacked the edges of this Ohio State defense, but they were able to run it up the middle some as well. But the biggest thing that Ohio State had trouble stopping was just that little toss sweep out of the shotgun formation. They really had trouble with that. Nebraska, who is obviously not even in the same class as this Ohio State team, in my opinion, although they have, not lost one game by double digits, which is quite impressive, even though they lost. They were able to give this Ohio State team trouble. They have a little bit better pass defense. They have a couple good pass rushers there. that could apply some pressure on C.J. Stroud, and they were able to run the football with great regularity. And that right there was the best defense as far as against this Ohio State offense, is just keeping them off the field. And they're just susceptible to teams that can run the football on them, which is why I thought Michigan State would pull the upset, because I have so much respect for Kenneth Walker III. But quite frankly, I believe Mel Tucker really did his team a tremendous disservice by not game planning better for that contest. Not saying that they would have won. I mean, obviously, 56-7. I mean, that's not even close. But I think they would have been significantly closer, if Mel Tucker just gives the ball to his best player in Kenneth Walker III and let him be special. Now, moving on to this particular matchup, the reason why I like Michigan here. I like them because they run the football. That's what they do. John Harbaugh, I call him Crazy Pants because of his khaki pants, but Crazy Pants is not going to let Ohio State off the hook. They're going to run the football, and they're going to run it with great regularity. Even if they get down by 14, 20, 28, 20, 30, it doesn't matter. They're going to run the football, and that's this team's identity. And one of the reasons why this team has been so formidable all year long is because of that identity of running the football. Outside of, Kenneth Walker III tearing them apart and coming back from a huge deficit, they have been outstanding this season. And I believe that they match up very well with this Ohio State team. They got a big physical offensive line, and I think they're going to run it with great regularity and great success. And I think Ohio State is going to have a hard time possessing the football in this one, because Michigan is going to dominate the time of possession. I really believe that. And I also believe they'll average about 4 yards a carry against Ohio State. And that's going to be really, well good enough to matriculate the ball down the field on a regular basis and score points. So I really like Michigan here in this matchup in that regard. I also like them defensively because they can do something that Michigan State cannot do, and that is rush the passer with 4. They have 2 tremendous edge rushers on the outside. I don't think they're going to be able to keep those guys blocked up all day. I think they're going to cause some problems and get some pressure on C.J. Stroud. I think even if Michigan rushes 3 and drops 8 at times, I think they'll still be able to get pressure on C.J. Stroud. And it's going to be really imperative that Michigan also spies C.J. Stroud and make sure that he stays in the pocket, because he can hurt you with his legs. But I believe that the Michigan Wolverines have the recipe. They have a much better passing defense than Michigan State. They have a passing defense that's similar to Nebraska's passing defense. It's actually a little bit better than that. So but those two things coupled together, I think you're going to see a lower scoring game than most people think you're going to see. But I think Michigan pulls it off today. And more than anything else, and the reason why I'm sitting here making this video with you right now is because of the cheese alert, okay? Guys, for those of you who don't know what a cheese alert is, who are new to my content, let me break it down and explain it to you, okay? A cheese alert is when Vegas is playing games with the spread, okay? As you guys know who have been betting for any length of time, all right, when X amount of dollars goes on one side too much, Vegas likes to have a balance, okay? So for those of you who don't know, Vegas, the ideal line for Vegas, money-wise, is 50-50. They want 50% on this side and 50% on this side, okay? And the reason for that is that there's a small vig in between, okay? As you guys know who have been betting, for every $100 you spend, depending on the bet, you might get a return of $93 to $95, $96. That money that's in between, that $4, Vegas is keeping that. Okay, so if they're able to get 50% of the bets over here and 50% of the bets over here, Vegas wins, because no matter who wins the game, then Vegas takes that VIG money and they win. Okay, so the ideal line movement for Vegas is if you get 60% of the bets or the money over here and there's 40% over here, Vegas will then move that line. Okay, so if you got 60% of the money over here and it's a 7.5 point line, Vegas will move that line up, okay, to 8.5 to try to get more money on the other side. Well, that is not happening here. And this is very, very curious, okay? Ohio State, first of all, I thought the spread, considering public perception, was too small to begin with. Now, that's just me, because we've all seen Ohio State do what they did to Michigan State. We saw Michigan State beat this Michigan team. So I expected this spread to probably be, 14, 15 points, okay? Even on the road, I thought it would be at least 14 points there for Ohio State. So I was really shocked to see the spread only at 7.5. And then as I've monitored this all week long, there's no line movement. There's 88, I don't know if you guys know this, there's 88% of all money bet on this contest is bet on Ohio State. That's almost a 90% of all the money on Ohio State. That doesn't really make a whole lot of sense to me, okay? And when I see stuff like that, I call a cheese alert, because Vegas is trying to bait you into taking Ohio State, I believe, in this particular situation, because there's no reason for them not to move this line up if there's 88% of all money on Ohio State. It's been like that all week, and it's just continuing to grow, and there's no movement. That makes absolutely no sense. So there's something up. There's something amiss. Vegas knows something we don't know. And like I've always said to you guys who have seen my content for any length of time, watch my content, Vegas doesn't make mistakes like that, okay? There's a method to the madness. There's something going on. They know more than I know. They know more than everybody watching this video knows. They got inside people everywhere. There might be an injury somewhere. There might be somebody sick. There might be somebody not getting along in the locker room. Who knows what it is? But there's something going on here, guys, and I'm telling you, don't take the cheese. If you don't want to bet Michigan today, fine, don't bet Michigan. But I'm telling you right now, I think it will be a grave mistake to bet any money on Ohio State today with this weird line movement situation and the matchup that I've analyzed and studied already. I'm telling you guys, don't take the cheese. So with all that being said, I could be wrong. I always say that because, you never can tell with these things. You just try to do the best you can. But when I see stuff like that, I feel like I got to put it out to you. So thanks, guys. As always, appreciate all the support. I know this was a long video. Thank you so much for watching to the end. And hey, if you like this sort of content, check us out on Patreon. Click the first link in the description box below. Good luck today, and you guys have a great and wonderful day. Take care.